Welcome to the 102nd episode of the Meeple Society, a podcast about board games hosted by two longtime role players turned avid board gamers. My name is Katie.
I'm Greg.
On this episode, as we prepare to head into the new year, we revisit our favorites from last year. Have they held up? Have we even gotten to play them again? We talk about a couple games we've played in the last few weeks, and we wrap up with a sneak peek at our current adventure through the TTR series. But first, let me just clarify this might be a short one. I'm going to say might because they never tend to actually be that way.
No.
We are recording just a few days before Christmas. So let's start before we forget to wish everybody a happy Christmas, a happy holidays, Merry Christmas, however you want to say it.
Mm-hmm. And a Happy New Year, because who knows, we may not have one right after the New Year's.
We're slated to record next on January 3rd. However, with
It
the holidays,
may
you
or may
never know
not
what
happen.
happens. Yeah, right. You just never know what's going to happen. I've got tons of overtime at work right now with, end of year stuff. We've got 2 hours of mandatory overtime that started a week ago and does not end till the middle of January. 2 hours per day. So it's going to be a very busy month for me. All that being said, shall we get started?
Sure. We're going to revisit our top 10 that we did. We did a video on top 10 of 2024 of games that we played that
That came out in 2024.
came out in 2024.
Right.
So we're going to revisit that. I have the list. So we're going to start off with my number 10,
Okay.
which is reversed to the way I have it. Number 10's on top, number 1's on the bottom. Don't go by my numbering.
I was going to say, but
Oh, just
Okay.
just quiet down.
okay. They're numbered 1 to 10, but apparently listed 10 to 1. Can I fix this real quick? Because that's going to bug me. Okay. Now it makes more sense.
So the first one's Inventors of the South Tigers. This was my number 10 from last year. It's still a great game. We have actually got to play it since we did the video. We played it at the Dice Tower Retreat. Inventors.
No, we didn't play Inventors.
Inventors we have not played. We played the first one in that series, the second one in that series, Scholars.
Scholars, yes. I was about to grab
We
the
played
pink book and
Scholars.
find out because I couldn't remember either.
So Inventors, we haven't got to play it again.
No, we haven't gotten to play that one again.
And to the point now is like, I remember some of that game. Those games are so hard. If you don't play them multiple times,
Right.
you can forget them very easily.
Yes. Yes.
They're
I
all
agree.
heavy. The South Tigers games are the most heavy ones, I believe, from the rest of them.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, they there's a lot going on in them.
Well, with all of the South Tigris, you've got a lot of dice manipulation and dice placement, and all of them. There's just so much going on with not only the dice but the other mechanisms in the game that they're heavy.
In the South Tiger series, it like you said, it's dice manipulation and I want to say flow charts, but they're not flow charts. They're
Tech tracks.
tech tracks. Yeah.
Thank you. It took me a minute to remember
I'm
myself.
like, oh, geez, why can't I think of that? Tech tracks. Yes.
So
Yeah. So Inventors. I hope to get back to the table at some point.
Yes, I would like to revisit that entire series and play the whole series in order personally. But yeah, that's something to look forward to.
Yep.
Maybe in the new year
Mm-hmm.
sometime. All right, my number 10 last year was Harmonies. And I think I remember playing it last New Year's. I believe we pulled it out because it was a lighter game and I think it was Colleen wanted to try it. So I do remember playing it last New Year's. So we've played it since maybe since when did we make this recording last year? I don't remember. So maybe not.
I'll look it up. You continue to talk about Harmonies
Okay.
for a second.
All right. So Harmonies is one where you are building out landscapes and habitats for animal cards that you pick up during the game. And each of the cards denotes the type of landscape that a specific animal wants. Does it want rock? Does it want field? Does it want water? Does it want rock next to water? Does it want, a mountain 3 high? That type of thing. And you are gathering up the discs, kind of like Azul style. You're gathering your discs to put into your player board in specific formats. It's just a really, I mean, I don't want to call it heavy, but yet it's still thinky. But it's a very interesting little game.
Yeah.
I really enjoy this one.
Uh-huh.
So, but yeah.
So this list was put out in January.
Okay, so I did play it prior to this list. I don't know if we've played it since, honestly.
Well,
But
if you
it's been a
played this on
busy
New
year.
Year's Eve, then you didn't play
Right.
it on
I don't know if I've played
before
it
the video.
since then, though,
Right.
is what I'm
yeah,
saying.
I don't think I have.
Yeah.
My number 9 was Wormspan. This one, I don't think we have either.
Actually, I just looked. I have. I played it on February 15th. We both did with Sarah and Jeff.
I was going to say, I thought we played this. I thought
we
Sarah
played with
had
Sarah
played
Holman
this with
and
us.
Jeff. I don't remember why on February 15th everybody was here, but okay.
Was that the redo of
That
our...
may have been the New Year's redo.
Right. I was going to say, because we did a lot in February.
We did. That was the New Year's redo. So last year, while you're looking up Wormspan, last year, our New Year's Eve party, half the people planning to come got sick and couldn't come. So in February, we did what we called a New Year's redo. And we did it on a weekend when everybody had some more free time. And it worked out really well.
Mm-hmm.
So we did it on the weekend.
Well, a lot of people were, like you said, were sick.
A lot of people were
So-
sick over New Year's last year.
Yeah.
And the way the weather's going this year, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if that happens
Right.
again, honestly.
Yeah.
So yes, we did. 4 of us played it on New Year's, or on the New Year's redo on February 15th
Mhm.
after this video was recorded. So yes, we have played it.
So Wormspan, we have not. Last time
Okay.
we played it was December 7th.
Okay, so right before this video was recorded.
Right. So, but yeah, I want to get this back because I like this one better than
Oh, yeah.
I liked Wormspan.
Yeah, see, I like Wingspan better,
yeah.
but you
And
know,
we haven't played Finspan.
no,
I don't know if I want to play Finspan.
I want to try it
Okay.
just because it's part of the series and to see what everybody's saying and make my own opinion.
Okay, so your number 9.
My number 9 was Middle Ages. And we have actually played it since then. We played it on the 24-hour live marathon
Mm-hmm.
in June. And, well, I take that back. You played it on the 24-hour live marathon. I did not play this, apparently.
No.
But I did play it in April, and we played it in March, and we played it in February. We've played it a lot since last year.
Well, yeah, this was one of our big games when we first got it.
Yes, this is one. Okay, so Middle Ages, you are building out your fiefdom using one of 9 different tiles. And it's a kind of a drafting mechanism where whoever takes the worst possible tile. So the tiles are numbered kind of like King Domino style. The better tiles are later numbers. The
Mhm.
worst tiles, the tiles that don't do as much for you, are higher numbers. And whoever drafts the lesser tile, i.e. the higher numbers, gets to pick first the next round. So sometimes you have to take a bad tile in order to get the tile you really need a row later. It's a really interesting draft mechanism. I've always liked that draft mechanism anyway. But you're putting all these tiles into your kingdom, into your fiefdom. Everything kind of fits together, kind of puzzle piece-like. Very satisfying to fit everything together. But there are some buildings that are a little take that. If you have more than other people, they got to pay you money, that type of thing. But it's just a really light, neat game. This was actually a remake of Her Majesty. We discovered it at Gen Con
Yeah.
2024. So,
Yep.
really like this one. We've apparently played it quite a lot this year.
My number 8 was Rings and Things.
Things and Rings.
Things and Rings. I do that every time.
You do.
Things and Rings. It's the
Things in Rings.
It's the dyslexia. I'm sorry. Things
Dyslexia,
in Rings,
adding
and
new
we have
words.
played it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times since the
We've
making
played
of this
one a lot,
video.
too.
Last time was on May 31st. Oh, I'm sorry. No, we've only played it twice. I'm sorry. No. We played it twice on February 15th,
That was the New Year's redo.
and then 4 times on May 31st.
I don't remember
Why
why we.
What
had
was
anything
May
happen.
31st that we played it 4 times?
Let me go back to my calendar.
There were some BGI people here. Where was this?
Oh,
at?
it might have been a BGI event.
BGI Game Day.
Yeah, that was a BGI event.
Okay. Well, we played it 4 times.
Yeah,
Probably just played it, racked it up, played it, racked it
Yeah.
up, played it.
yeah, that's easy to do with that game.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and this one we're always taking it places too.
It's so
sometimes
easy
it comes
to
out, sometimes it
transport.
doesn't.
Yeah, it does take up a fairly decent amount of table space. I mean, average table space.
This is the one where you have a Venn diagram in the middle of the table. There's one person called the knower who kind of knows what needs to be in each part of the Venn diagram. Everybody else has cards that are going to play out one at a time to an area. It either goes in that area or it doesn't. The knower will tell you if it goes there or not. If it goes where you laid it, you get to play another card and do that until you get one wrong. If it doesn't go there, the knower will move your card to the area it's at, and then it's up to the players to kind of figure out
what each qualifier is.
Yeah, what's going on in each area and start getting the cards. And the person who runs out of cards first wins. That's the game. And that's why it's so easy to play, so easy to learn.
It's so
it's
easy
just
to
so hard to
explain.
figure out.
Yes. It is, and I will tell you now, if you decide to try this, do not try it with newbies using the hard cards because it does not work well.
Because somebody did that.
Because I did that by accident, yes, on New Year's redo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why we played it twice, because we pulled out easy cards.
Yes.
So, all right, well, my number 8 was Galileo Galilei. This is one where you take on the persona of one of the famous astronomers from, oh my gosh, what, 18th century? I think it was 18th century,
then.
maybe 17th century. Anyway, the time of Galileo. And you are trying to do your research, but yet avoid the inquisitors. If you do happen to attract the attention of the inquisitors, you've got to deal with them. Otherwise, you end up losing points. It is a very neat Euro style. It's not really a worker placement. It's more of an action selection because you are moving the telescope around to pick the action you want. You can move it up to so many spaces. Oh, wow. Way back when. 1640 was Galileo? 1640-ish time frame.
1564 to 1642.
So, okay, I was off by a
1564.
couple centuries.
A couple?
But anyway.
That's a few.
Just a few. Very, very, I just love the thought process in this game. I love the all the different things you can do, exploring planets, exploring things all through a telescope.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just, anyway, I really enjoy this one. But we played it since? I think we have. Yeah, we played it in October when we actually bought a copy of it.
Yes.
When we did this list last year, we didn't own it.
No.
But when we bought a copy of it, we played it then back in
Yes.
October. So, yes. So, yeah, good one.
Next, my number 7 was Bear Mountain Camping Adventures. This one is the one that surprised me the most on my list. This is one that you backed, and I forgot you backed it at first, and then you told me about it, and then I was kind of like, we watched some videos of it, and I was like, we'll see, and then we ended up enjoying it. Last time we played it was February 28th, and I won.
I think that's probably when we recorded it, because we recorded a playthrough of it. They've got a new expansion coming out, too. I did pre-order. I don't even remember what it is. I'd have to look it up, but I did pre-order it. So we'll see when that comes in, what it does to it. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I could see where that one will get flat after a while. That's one reason I ordered the new expansion, to see what it does for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do enjoy it. I'm looking forward to getting it back to the table when we get the new expansion.
They have another one. The same company, Sweater Bear Games, has another one coming out that you back.
It should be here within the month, I think, called...
It's has something to do with camping again, isn't it?
It does.
And you're running the park.
Camping season, where you are actually running a campground. So yeah, okay. I'm curious to see what that one does too, but it should hopefully be here within the month.
Okay, so that was my number 7. Your number 7?
My number 7 was Adventures of the South Tigris. I feel like we've talked about that one already, so let's move on to your number 6.
My number 6 is Skyrise. This is one you do not like at all.
No, I can't even pretend. I just don't care for it.
You even had a thought on that one? No, you don't, because you've expressed how much you did not like this game because you don't like bidding games. And this is 100% bidding.
It is 100%
bidding. It's a
bidding.
different kind of bidding, I think.
It is, because you can see what everybody has. You can see exactly what's out there. If you want something, you got to bid high. But if you do that, it's the only time you're going to get to.
Yes.
And it's just, I'm no good at reading people when it comes to these kind of games. And I always end up losing them because of that. And it's just, I don't know. It just was not enticing to me.
Yeah.
So.
This is one where everybody has buildings. Everybody's buildings are of different numbers. You have different colors, different numbers, and you're going around the map and you're putting out a building with a number on it, and that's your bid for that spot. If somebody outbids you, they'll put it on another spot beside you, just adjacent from you. And there'll be this long train of buildings out, and then finally when everybody passes, the person with the highest bid will win that spot that he's on. So through the whole game, you're trying to manipulate your bids to get it to an area that you need it to get to, because you're going to score points for certain areas. Depending on cards you got, depending on goal cards that are out, depending on what you have on your board, because when you get an area, you're going to mark it off that you have that area, and it's going to add to its multiplier. There's just so much going on in this game, and it's a really cool game. The deluxe version is a lot better looking than the version we have, because I only have the retail version. But there's no sense in buying the deluxe version because you won't play it. And the last time we played it was, you played it June 21st, but we only played it for the video, for the playing through our collection video.
Playing through our collection videos, yes. Yeah. No,
and you won it.
Your son loves this game.
You won this game.
Did I really?
Yes,
I didn't think I'd ever won this game.
Yes.
Of course, I've only played it twice now, so.
Yeah. I want to see how bad you won at 163 to 141.
Okay.
So you won it quite.
I did something
right.
Well.
Yep.
Anyway, my number 6.
I still like it.
Okay. My number 6 is Let's Go to Japan. This is a card placement game that it's card placement. It's kind of route building, sort of, because you're trying to build out your days based on specific icons in specific cities. So there's limited items you can choose if you want to be successful in the game and in your trip to Japan. I got to play this back in February, so I have played it once since we recorded this video.
Yeah.
I taught a few of our friends how to play it.
Yeah.
But
we even got to meet Josh Wood.
We did at Gen Con last year? Year before last. Yeah.
The year it came out.
Yes. Anyway, a really interesting game. This one hits on my travel agent days and planning trips, and I just absolutely adore this game. The artwork is gorgeous. Just a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I'm kind of mediocre on this game.
Yeah, I know. I love it though. So too bad.
So my number 5 was Andromeda's Edge last year. This one I think I've kind of cooled on. I mean, we've only played it a couple times, but I think because I cooled on it is because of the play I had it at the Dice Tower Treat. We played it at a 5-player game. It's only supposed to play 4.
No, it plays.
Does it play 5?
Plays 5. I'm pretty sure. I'll look it up real quick.
But I felt that was way too many for that game.
I feel like that definitely drags the game out. I thought it was interesting. No, it is a 2 to 4. He must have had something that made it a 5-player game.
Yeah.
So yeah, 5 is I think too many.
Way too many. I think.
Yeah, I think it just drags the game out too much, and it makes the board tighter than it probably should be.
Yeah. Because you run out of decent spaces to go to be able to advance your technology, basically, to actually be worth anything in the game. And I was that last player, which I was getting shut out of a lot of stuff. And you guys always said, well, we have to get off the board at some point. And I was like, yeah, but then I'm down to my last player, and you got to play close to your other people. And I've been stuck down this corner this whole time, and all the other stuff is all the way on the other side of the board. There's no way for me to get to the other side of the board. Well, you put out your bigger ships. I was like, well, you need the supplies to be able to get out your bigger ships, and to do that, you got to get to the places. So I was kind of stuck in that game.
It sounds like we need to play it at like a 3-player for you to to explore it again without the board.
Yeah, I know when I left that game that day, it was in the back of my head. I was like, I'm going to sell this game. I don't ever want to play it again.
Okay. I don't have a problem with that. We need to get rid of some games anyway. But so that one did not stay in your top.
No, it would not have stayed in my top 20. My top 10.
Okay. My number 5 is Collab. Collab was a Kickstarter that I did that honestly I began to think would never come in because it took so long, but came out in 2024. This is a worker placement, kind of a dice manipulation, but they're specialty dice where you are moving every turn you have to put out a worker or remove a worker from the board. And depending on where they are, depends on the power that your scientist can do a specific action off of. And your scientist actually gets to bounce off of not just your workers, but everybody else's too.
And the workers have dice in them.
And the dice they have dice in them that give them special abilities, that make the scientist's abilities stronger.
Yeah.
It's really interesting the way it all does it. And the whole board builds out as you play.
Mm-hmm.
The whole board is modular. I really enjoy it. I don't think we've played it since. No, April of 24 was the last time we played it. But I know one of the girls at the BGI night just bought it not too long ago, and I told her that when she's ready to play it, bring it to a night. I'll teach her because I love this game.
Oh, yeah. I know you like this game.
Yeah, I really enjoy this one, so I want to play this one again.
Yep. This is another one. I enjoy the play of it, but it's not one I'm taking off the shelf.
Okay.
Like I said, if it comes off the shelf to play, I was like, okay, I'll play this, but I'm not picking it off the shelf.
Okay.
My number 4 is Reef Project, and this is probably due to how many plays of this we've gotten of this game. When we got this game, this was a game that I found the
demo type thing.
No, it wasn't just a demo. The release party.
Yes,
for
there you go.
Reef Project at Gen Con, and I got us tickets. You had never even heard of this thing.
Nope.
And we went. We learned the game. We bought the game that the next day because by the time we got over there, it was closed. And then the next day they were sold. I was like, there'll be more here in the morning. So we made sure we got over there in the morning and got a copy of this.
Yeah.
And we had played the heck. When was the last time we played this though? Now
January 11th of this year.
So we've played it since the video.
Yes. I've got a note on here that was when we recorded the playthrough.
Yeah, we played this multiple times at the retreat because you taught a lot of people at the retreat with this.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I mean it's a fun game. I mean,
yeah, I enjoy this one. It's all about cleaning up the oceans or cleaning up the reef, and just exploring the reef, going from island to island and getting the resources you need in order to
circling your ships up to clear out an area of the reef to get it all cleaned up.
Yep. I like it. Good one. My number 4 was River Valley Glassworks. This is a very light game from Allplay that you are cleaning up glass out of the river and basically collecting the glass and trying to make sets of different colors and same colors. And I think this is just a really cute game. It's a quick game. It plays in like 45 minutes, if that. And if everybody knows what they're doing, you can probably get a full game in less than half an hour.
Yeah. I
think the last time we played it 8 times. Wow. A decent number for only having had it a year. Actually, we played it at the 24-hour. Oh, okay. Well, let me rephrase that. We've played it twice at the 24, actually. We played it. Oh, that was in 24. So, yes, I have played it twice since we recorded this video. You've not played it at all. I played it on air at the 24-hour marathon, and then I played it later with just Mary when you guys were doing a different recording. Mary and I sat in the dining room and played it. So I taught it to her because she was not able to get into the first game. She was off taking care of kids. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed this one. Always have. It's just a beautiful production, smooth gameplay. Yeah, I like it.
My number 3 was Galileo Galilei. We've talked about that already. It was your number 8. Really cool, kind of a space theme to it.
Yeah,
because you're looking at the stars, discovering planets, the whole time trying to duck away from the Inquisitioners.
Well, my number 3 was Forges of Ravenshire. No, we have not gotten to play it since. I know this because I keep wanting to play it.
Yes.
It was played at one of the ladies' nights, and I was not able to make it that night. I was very upset with myself. But anyway, Forges of Ravenshire is a dice placement where the dice value you put into a location determines how strong the action is going to be. Meanwhile, the dice that you're taking, it's one of those dual action ones. You put a dice out, you take a dice back, but it has to be a different dice. The dice you're taking back goes into your player board, and that determines other things and other powers that you can use later in the game. I don't know. I just really like it. It just sung for me. I want to get this played again.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this one.
Yep, because it was my number 2.
Oh, yeah, it sure was, wasn't it?
And it was your number 2 top 100 of all time. It almost upset Terraforming Mars.
It was close. I think because I'm dying to play it again.
Mm-hmm.
Once I've played it 10 or 12 times, like I have Terraforming Mars, I don't know. It may not stay there. But right now, it's still like, oh, it's so sweet because I want to play it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that's why every time it comes up in a list, I'm like, oh, yep, pick that one because I want to play it. I want to play it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Like I said, I need to get some more plays of this one in for sure.
Yep. So like I said, it was my number 2 as well.
Okay. All right. My number 2 was Bear Mountain Camping Adventure. So there we go.
My number 1 was Rock Hard 1977. This was the Jackie Fox game about becoming a rock star in the 70s. Basically, you have a job that you got to do, which is supporting your rock star habit, and you're working on getting a demo and then a record label all the time, doing gigs and hanging out late and going to parties, but then having to get up in the morning and go to work. But there were some things in the morning you really need to do, and if you worked in the morning, you're just going to have to skip work to go do it so you get it done. But if you missed work 3 times, you were fired, and then you were a professional rock star because that's all you could do now because you didn't have a job. This one I thought was a lot of fun. It's very thematic, I thought.
Yeah, it's a good game.
Yeah, and she has an expansion coming up this year for this game.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'm looking forward to seeing that. It'll probably be at Gen Con, selling out just like the game did.
Oh, I'm sure.
But I'm going to try and get a copy of this.
Okay. And my number 1 was Reef Project. So this one, despite how long it is, it just sat with me. I don't know. I always enjoyed every play of it. I would love to get it back out to the table. Once we got the video recorded of it, we haven't played it since, unfortunately, because we've had so many other things we've had to do. But I definitely want to get this one to the table again.
Okay, so that was our top 10 of 2024. Reason why we did this is because we got our top 10 of 2025 getting ready to be recorded and will be out soon, hopefully, as long as everything
Hopefully we
goes.
can get it done sometime in the next couple of weeks, yeah.
Next week or so, yeah.
Find time over the holidays.
Yep. So be looking for that. And with that, I had the question for the people. So what was your top game of 2025? Now, I put this on our Facebook page as what game in 2025 that you played did you like the most? It could have been a game from 2025. Could have been a game from like 1977, a la London Cabbie, you know?
Yeah. London Cabbie was 71.
Okay.
But anyway.
It could have been in 1971. But what was your favorite game that you played? We had a couple people respond to it. I'm wanting to hear from people who have not responded to it too, though. But I'm going to go over some of these. So Jeff Hammer said Richard the Lionheart. That is a game we had not, I don't know if we'd even heard of.
No.
We'd not played it. Natalie Martin said Millie Fiore. Natalie is from your Ladies Night.
Natalie is one of the ladies at Ladies Night, yeah.
John Kohler, a listener on YouTube. Return to the Dark Tower and Wonderland's War with an honorable mention to Star Trek Ascendancy. See, we played Star Trek. We played Wonderland's War and Star Trek Ascendancy this year.
Yeah.
We played Dark Tower a few years ago. I really liked Star Trek Ascendancy again. It was our second play of it.
Yeah, I enjoyed that play.
And I enjoyed Wonderland's War, but it's not something I think we need at all.
I don't think I need to buy it. I did enjoy the play of it, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the type of game we would ever pull off the shelf on our own.
Hey, Joy McDaniel said three-way tie between Harmonies, No Thanks, and Bandito. We have Bandita.
We have Bandita.
We thought we were buying Bandito.
Yes.
And we ended up with Bandita.
Right.
Which is the female version, basically, of the game.
Yeah,
it's the exact same
from
thing.
what I understand, it's the same thing.
You can join them together, and they can break out together. Gary Pest says Arc Nova. I have not played Ark Nova in like forever.
I've got to play it at one of the ladies' nights not too terribly long ago, and I still love it.
Mm-hmm. And John Ewing says, Castles of Burgundy, SETI, Vantage, and Fate of the Fellowship. I still want to play Fate of the Fellowship. I know you have no thoughts of wanting to play Fate of the Fellowship.
No, not interested.
I want to see how much, because they said this is the one that's the farthest away from the pandemic mechanic. It's one of those games.
Okay.
But it's Lord of the Rings, and you're not big on Lord of the Rings.
No, I'm not a big fan of Lord of the Rings.
I just want to play it and see how it is. Okay. Because, you never wanted to play Lynch King, whatever it was, Lynch King. It was one of the pandemic versions. And we played it, and you enjoyed it.
I did. It was different.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Castles of Burgundy.
Love it.
You love it.
I've gotten to play the deluxe version too, and it is a really nice version.
Castles of Burgundy is not my favorite Stefan Feld game.
No kidding.
I will play it if it's brought out. I don't say I would never play it again. I don't say it's an absolute horrible game. It's just not one of my more favorite ones. SETI we've played. I like SETI. Vantage we have everything for Vantage. It just has not come out.
Nope, the V's are coming, so it's just
sometime
kind of
in the middle of next
there.
year. So it'll be Gen Con next year before we play Vantage.
I'm hoping not. Depends on how long it takes us to finish the teas.
Mm-hmm. So that's some of our responses. We'd love to hear from you guys, from our listeners too, as to what was your favorite game of 2025. And if you want, tell us what you're looking forward to for 2026. So let's talk about games we've recently played.
So one game we got to play just a couple nights ago was Azul Master Chocolatier. This version of Azul was published in 2022, designed by Michael Kiesling, art by Nina Allen and Chris Quilliams, published by Next Move Games. Now, this is one of the line of the Azul games. Now, Azul itself came out in 2017, of course, designed by Michael Kiesling and Next Move Games. These play 2 to 4 players in roughly 30 to 45 minutes, ages 8 and up. If you're familiar with Azul, Azul has a mechanism where you choose one color of tile off of a series of discs in the middle of the table. Depending on your player count, you're putting out between 5 and 9 discs. Each disc holds 4 tiles on it. You are choosing one color off of one disc on your turn and shoving the rest of them into the center of the board. In the center of the board is the first player token for the next round, which will lose you a point if you take it. You have to take it if you are the first person to breach the middle of the board. But when you do breach the middle of the board, you can take all of one color that is there, and you put those onto your board. Your player boards have 5 different rows on them. The first row requires 1 tile to fill it. The second row requires 2, the third 3, the fourth 4, and so on. You play through the round until all the tiles are gone. There can be no tiles left on any of the discs or in the center of the table. So somebody might get stuck with a whole bunch of tiles they can't use. It happens. It happened to me on the very first round of this game. Luckily, you can't go into the negatives, so that's the only thing that saved me. Yeah. Still didn't win, but that's okay. At the end of the round, you are taking all of your completed areas. So if you manage to get 5 of one color in the bottom row and you manage to get 2 of one color in the second row, but only 2 in the third row, so you didn't complete the third row, you are moving one of your completed tiles over to your wall, or in this case, to your box of chocolates, because all of these tiles represent chocolate. So you're moving one of your pieces of chocolate over to the box, i.e. your player board, from your second row and your fifth row, because those rows were completed. You gathered enough of the chocolates to make one, and you move it over. The row that was not complete just stays put till next round. And then next round, you can complete it. On the base side of the board, and I think even on the other side of the board, you can only have one type of chocolate, i.e. one tile of each color, in each row and each column. Now, the player board's 2-sided. One side, it sets it all up for you. The other side, you can align it any way you want, but you can still only have one of each color in each row and in each column. So it makes it a little more complicated to figure out your pattern if I mean, I guess to each their own. We've never played the flip side of the board. We've always played the side where the colors are defined for you.
Yeah.
You play until one person completes an entire row. So the game could be finished in 5 turns, 5 rounds, I should say. Usually it's going to last 6 or 7, but usually by 6 or 7, somebody has completed a row. I think all of us completed a row on the same turn this round, this last game on the same round. I've always enjoyed regular Azul. This is the first time I've gotten to play the chocolate version. And it's like all sorts of different chocolates you would see, and they're decorated like little chocolates. There's caramels and white chocolate and dark chocolate. And it's a cute version.
Mm-hmm.
It is Azul. If you have one, you don't need both unless you want the aesthetics of the chocolate. We have regular Azul. I don't need to buy this. I'm glad I finally got to play it and see that it is exactly the same thing.
It's Azul. It's just painted differently.
Yes, it's just got a different paint job. But yeah, I do like the game. I mean, it has a 7.9 on BGG, which is ironically higher than regular Azul at a 7.7. Go figure. But I don't need it.
No.
So I'm happy.
We don't need the other one either, but
it's part of our set. Yes, we do. I like the game.
I know you like it.
Just
it's one of the
you
games
don't
I
like
don't
the
really
game.
like it, and we'll play when you pull it off.
Luckily, it is one that I know plenty of people who do like it and will play it with me on game days, which we tend to have a lot of. So,
my game I'm going to talk about is Viticultural.
I mean, okay.
Viticulture. I can't even talk.
Just start over.
My game we're talking about is Viticulture Essential Edition. This was designed by Jerry Stegmeyer and Alan Stone, artists Jackie Davis, David Montgomery, and Beth Sobel, published by Stonemeyer Games in 2015. It's 1 to 6 players, 45 to 90 minutes. This game being at 6 players, I know we've played it at 6 players, but holy cow.
Well, and at 6
a 4-player
players,
game was a lot last night.
It is, but 6 players opens up an extra spot on every worker spot.
True.
So really, it's just the same as playing 4. It's just going to take longer because you got longer between your turns.
Yeah. There is some downtime in this.
There is some
from
downtime.
People trying to figure out, and I was doing that a lot last.
Yeah.
We just played this last night, and I was doing that probably the more than I normally do.
Yeah. Well,
and I think everybody was. It's like, well,
there comes a point
where
where
I
all
go
the
now?
all the spots you need are taken, but you got to use your workers. Well, you should. I guess you don't have to.
Well, that's when you just send them to the carriage. Send them to the carriage.
Well, that's true. And I don't think I ever actually did that. And I
did that
probably
twice.
should have. But anyway, explain the game.
So in Viticulture Essential Edition, this is, if I'm not mistaken, the Essential Edition came out after all the expansions came out for the first one. They kind of took what they needed and put it into the new one, into this version. It's essentially what made the game better. There is still a Tuscany edition to this one, a Tuscany expansion to this one. But in this game, anyway, so you're going to start out in the spring in this game. Basically, what you're trying to do is plant grapes, harvest grapes, make wine, sell wine. First person to 20 ends the game, and then everybody has the end of the round to make more points, and the one who does it first wins. So in this game, you start in spring, and you choose your wake-up position, and it's on the side of the board. You have a little rooster, and you slide it into a slot 1 to 6 or 1 to 7, and the different areas have places to go, or objects you get when you do it. So, like in the first, if you want to be the first player, you go number 1. You don't get any bonuses. Number 2, you get a green card, which is a vine that you can plant later. The third spot gives you an order card. The fourth spot gives you a coin. Money in this game is very tight. So if you ever have the chance to get coins, get coins. The fifth spot gives you either a summer or winter visitor card, which comes out in there's buildings in the summer and in the winter part of the boards that you can play them at. Sixth spot gives you a point. Points are hard to come by in this game as well. And the seventh place gives you an extra worker. Places you can play during the summer. Like I said, the board is divided up in summer and winter. In the summer, you can give a tour and gain $2. There is a spot in a 4-player game, 5-player game. That the middle spot you get gives you an extra coin, so you have 3 coins. There are buildings that you can build if you go to the build one structure area, and one of the buildings is a tasting table or something like that.
Tasting room,
but you have to have a wine in your cellar, basically, so they can taste it, and you get more money. There is a building that you get to draw vines for, basically, to get the vines to plant later. There is another building you play your summer cards, the yellow cards, and those are visitors that are coming to your vineyard to do stuff, and they're going to give you certain things. I mean, sometimes they'll give you money if you do this, or just different stuff. There is a selling tents that you can go. It also, if you go to the center one, you can get a point. Nobody went there because this is where you can sell at least one grape or buy and sell one field. Because you have cards on your player boards that flip over and say it's sold, and there's fields of 5, 6, and 7 lira. You sell it, you get 7. If you sell the 7 one, you get 7 lira. But you can always go back to there if you have the money to buy that field back, so you have it to plant. And then there's the planting area. You can go in there, and there's one spot in the center that allows you to plant 2 vines instead of just one vine. Normally, you can only plant 1 vine if you don't get the center spot. Those are the different spots in the summer. There's also a spot, it's just a wagon. You can jump on the wagon, you gain a coin. And as many people want to go there can go there. Every place else, it's certain spots. Like in a 4-player game, we had 2 spaces we could go to. In the wintertime, you have a place you can go and draw more order cards. And these are the cards that there's a spot on in the winter where you fill your orders. And to fill an order, you have to have the wines in your cellars and meet everything on the card to get points and what was that called? What was that called? Residuals, yeah. At the end of the year, you would get residuals if you sold wine. At the bottom of the card will show you how many residuals you get because you are selling that wine. And that's more money at the end of the round that you get. There is also an area where you can play winter visitor cards. There is a center place where you can play 2 at a time instead of just 1 at a time. And like the summer, this is visitors that are coming and they're going to give you certain things. There is a place to harvest your fields. Most of the spots is you just harvest one of your fields. There is one that you get to harvest 2 fields. Another one is make up 2 wine tokens. So you're taking your grapes out of your storage, your mashers, and making wine out of them to go into your cellar. Now you can only make wine up to the number that you have the cellar built. So if you only have the beginning and don't have any of your upgraded cellar parts, you can only build up to a number 3 wine. If you can build a 4, well, you have to downgrade it to a 3. But once you have the medium size cellar, you can build up to 6, I believe. Yeah, you can build up 4, 5, and 6 wines. And there you can start building blushes. And then if you have the rest of it, now you can build all the way up to a level 9 wine. You can build blushes or make blushes. And now you can make sparkling wines as well. Those are going to go for more points if you have orders for them and everything. But the whole thing is trying to get them in where you need them, because at the end of each round, everything is going to age. So they're going to go up in value. You can sell, like say you have a card that needs a 6 white and a 6 red, and you have a 7 white and a 6 red. You can sell them the 7. They're just going to get a little bit better white wine than they initially wanted. It doesn't change the point value on it or nothing. You get the same point value. There is a place that you can go and train your workers, because you only start off with usually 2 workers and a grande worker. I'll tell you about the grande worker here in a minute. And a certain amount of cards and a certain amount of coins. So you're going to want to get the other 4, I think it is. There's 4 more workers you can get. 3 more workers, because you can have a total of 6.
Right.
So there's 3 more workers you need to train so you can get them out, because the more workers you have, the more actions you can do. each year. Those are the places. Like I said, when you go to the train worker, the middle space, of course, is going to give you something extra. It's going to let you train that instead of for 4 coins. You can train that person for 3. The fill, if you go to the center marker in the fill zone, you get an extra point for it. Making up wine tokens, there's an extra spot there. Fields, they all have an extra thing if you go to the center spot. So that's a pretty cool thing to have. Now, you can go there. Like, say, I'm going to go plant. I can only plant 1 field, but I'm going to go to the center one to make sure nobody else can plant 2. You can do that. We call you a certain name, but you can do that, especially when that person really, really needs that spot so they can plant 2. All in all, I had a lot of fun with this game this time. Normally, this is a game that is one of those, I'll play it. I enjoy it when I play it, but it's not something I pull off the shelf. This time, I knew we were playing it. I thought about it all week. It's like, how am I going to play this game? How am I going to make this game interesting for me? Because it's not in my, I don't even know if it's in my top 100 games, but.
This is not your normal wheelhouse of a game.
Yeah.
It really isn't.
This is, I like worker placement games.
Yeah.
I like worker placements, and it does you can kind of get an engine going.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely can get an engine going. Depends on how you plant your fields and.
And I went into this game like going, okay, this is what I'm doing. And I stuck to it, and I won the game.
Yeah, you
which
did.
Surprised me.
By a tiebreaker,
though, but I should have won it by 3 points. Not because I didn't play the card I needed, but if you remember, my second action, I played a card that I lost 3 points in. I got 9
but you got
coins
$9
from it
that you used throughout the game.
that I used it very well.
You shouldn't have won by 3 points.
I lost 3 points in the beginning of the game.
That was your own choice.
I actually had 23 points.
No, because you gave up 3 points to get 9 coins. None of the rest of us got those 9 coins. That would be different if all of us got 9 coins off that card.
But I came up with 23 points.
That's beside the point. You had 20 points because you purposely gave up 3 points.
Yes, I did. So I gave you guys a fair head start, and I still beat y'all.
With $9 extra none of the rest of us had.
It's not my fault you guys didn't get that card.
Oh, my gosh.
Or was risking that. Because there was a lot of cards I seen you guys throwing away that if you gave up this, you could get that. I seen Doug and Mary throw away a few of them.
I never threw it. I didn't have any of those cards. Mm-hmm. Actually, I think I did have one. And I did end up using it. It was one of those do this or give up a point to do both. Mm-hmm. I did that. So I did give up 1 point. So see, if I hadn't given up that point, I'd have won by a point. So there.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay, whatever. But I had another card that I did not play correctly. And like I said, I could have gotten it. But
you still won.
Yes,
by
I did.
I won it. Because I only had 2 coins.
Very happy I won it.
I only had 2 coins at the end of the game, and you had like 8. Because you and I were both tied for 20.
Yes. Well, when you said coins as
the tiebreaker,
and I'm like going, I got a stack of coins. You barely have any over there. I was like, well, I've got that. I could not
keep coins to save my life during the game. I just couldn't get them.
And then I think it was order cards.
It wasn't order cards. It was money. And the next was the value of wine in your cellar. Not the number of wine, the value of the wine in your cellar.
I had 2 8s in my cellar.
And the next one was the value of grapes on your crush pad.
Right.
Was the third
I had
tiebreaker.
nothing on my crush pad, but I have two wines at the value of 8 on my. So those are the actions you can take on viticulture, and that's kind of a strategy you can use on viticulture. But at the end of the year, you play through summer, you play through winter, and you only have those. Like you start off, like I said, you have 3 workers, two regular workers, and a grande worker. The grande worker can be placed anywhere. It's the muscle. Even if there's not a spot there for him, he can still go to that spot. That's why you're always trying to leave that grande worker to your last. If you know you need to do something, but you need some other stuff first and know that place is going to go, keep that grande worker so you can get in there. But yeah, you have to use them in the summer and the winter. The ones you use in the summer, you don't get back to go use in the winter. Whatever you have left is what you're going to use the winter. If you use everybody up in the summer, you have no winter actions, which is another strategy I've seen the people have done a lot of summer stuff and forgo on winter to get most of the summer stuff done.
I could
and then
see
the
that
next
being
year, barely do anything in the summer and then leaving it all in the winter.
And I could see that being a strategy because all the winter stuff is harvesting, selling your wine, making your. Well, if you don't have any to do, then why save them? The one big thing in the winter is you're training new people.
Yes.
So that's the only place you can train.
Right.
But in the spring is where you're collecting your orders. Your orders come in winter. But you're planting your fields. You're building your buildings. You're making money. That's all in the spring. And early in the game, those actions are really important. Later in the game, yes, you want to be making wine. You want to be harvesting as much as you can. So
yeah, and you get to. In between summer and winter is the fall, and you get to draw a visitor either from the summer visitors or the winter visitors. Most of the time I've seen people drawing the winter visitors because it could be a card they could play that
you're
turn.
going into winter, yeah.
You're going into winter.
I feel like
now, if you had the cottage built, and me and Doug both started with the cottage because our Tom Hiddleston card gave us
your Loki card.
If you've played this game, you'll know what we mean.
Look at the Papa card.
It's Tom Hiddleston. But yeah, if you have that, you get 2 cards, and you could take one of each. And that's what I was doing most of the game, was taking one of each. And then I started loading up on winter cards.
Yeah, see, you guys all had your cottage built, and you guys were all, at least Doug and Mary, I know, were constantly discarding cards. I discarded 1 card the whole game because I never got the cottage built. I never had more than 7 cards. That was the only building I did not get built. I got all the rest done.
I didn't build the tasting table or whatever it is.
Yeah,
the
I didn't.
Tasting
that
shack
got me
or whatever
like
it was.
$2. That's all it ever got me.
Yeah.
It didn't get me very much.
So, yeah, then at the end of the year, you're going to get all your workers back. You collect your residual payments. You're going to discard down to 7 cards. You're going to rotate the first player marker and start all over again. So with that, I liked this play. Not just because I won, but I came into the game with a strategy. I stuck to that strategy, and it got me the win, which was great. And though be it was a tie, and I won because I had more money, but I had everything I had to use money for out of the way early in this game. Like I said, I only had the one building left, and I didn't see any reason to build it. But I had everything else built. I had the windmill built, which gives me a point when you plant a vine, although I only planted 1 more vine.
That's a good one to have out early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I think that was the second one I built.
My first building that I actually built was the trellis because the first orders that I got or first vines that I got needed the trellis.
Yeah.
I need to build a trellis.
I had 1 card that did not require the trellis or the water tower, the irrigation tower. Every other card I got required 1 or both. I'm going to have to build them. I have no choice. Every vine I'm getting requires them.
Yeah. I had 2 vines that didn't need anything, but the rest of them, the first 2 I got needed the trellis. The next set I got needed the irrigation. So I had to build those. And then I was like, okay, well, I might as, while I'm here, you had that 1 card up. We could give you a point but we could build
for $2 less or something like that. Yeah.
So I built the yoke for free.
Right.
So I was like, okay, so now I have pretty much everything that I need.
Yeah.
Everything's built that I need. I don't need the tasting table because I haven't gone to the tour thing but twice.
Yeah.
And that was only because I was kind of low on money. I could use the cash, and there wasn't any place else I needed to go.
That was my big problem with it. Once you got 6 workers, at least until the end of the game where you could start selling your wine, I was like, okay, I still have workers left. What the heck am I going to do with them? All the spaces I needed are taken.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a grande. I don't want to spend my grande worker there because I have to make sure I save him for something else. There were a couple of turns where I didn't have anything that was beneficial to do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So.
That's why if there was something that I didn't need to do and I still had workers, I'd just go get money.
Yeah, and that's what I should have done, really.
And that's how I ended up with so much money because, like I said, I got all my workers out very early. Yeah. I got all my buildings built very early, and then I basically, like I said, like I did, like you do a lot of times on resource management games. You play the long game.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm playing the long game. I'm going to sit behind for the first part of this game, but I'm going to build everything up. And then everything will be easy for me.
It worked for you.
And it definitely worked for me. So, yeah. So, who knows? This might actually pop into the top 100 if it hasn't already into my top 100 or whatever. If we do top 100, we may do top 50. Who knows? Anyway, so that is viticulture. I don't know why I have so much trouble pronouncing this game. Viticulture Essential Edition.
There you go.
Okay, so our first look is going to be kind of a little bit different. It's not true. Well, for some of this, it's a first look at this.
Yes.
Some of it, it's not. We are actually going to go through our Ticket to Ride map collection. Basically everything we have at Ticket to Ride, because one of our next playing through our collection video that we're going to be doing once we get done with all the Ticket to Rides is going to be Ticket to Ride, basically. And you'll hear our true thoughts about it at that point.
Yes.
We are going to give you a sneak peek about what some of that we've played, what we have coming up.
Yeah. Well, it won't be the next one released. I've got one that's done, just needs to go up. One I'm editing. This will be 99. It's the next one we're recording.
Yeah.
So Ticket to Ride, the base game. I feel like every player, every gamer has probably played this game once. This is one of those that brought a lot of people into the hobby in the first place. Ticket to Ride, the base game, came out in 2004, plays 2 to 5 players, 30 to 60 minutes, ages 8 and up, Days of Wonder. This was designed by Alan R. Moon. Art listed on BGG, and I know they've had a recent refresh of the art.
Yeah.
They've redone the cover just recently.
And if you go to BGG, that's the cover of the show.
Right. So it's listing currently the artists as Cyril Dijon and Julian Duval. Duval, probably. Okay. Basic Ticket to Ride. You have 3 actions you can do. You can pull train cards, which are different color cards that correspond with the different tracks laid down on the board that are pre-printed on the board. You can claim a route. By playing cards of a specific color, you can claim a route of a specific color with the same number of cards as there are trains required on the board. Or if you have run out of route cards, you can claim new routes. Or if you want to just draw new routes to try to expand your network, you can do that too. So those are the only 3 actions you can do in this game. It can still be very thinky. It can be very take that. You can cut people off without even meaning to, but you got to do it to get your own routes done. But like I said, this is one of those games that it brought a lot of people into the hobby.
Yes.
I've taught this to my mother. I've taught this to my sister, neither of whom are gamers. I've taught it to a lot of people who are not gamers, and they get it and they enjoy it. Okay, so that being said, this has had multiple iterations.
Yes.
And I don't know the order in which they came out. I don't have that in front of me, but the bigger games, it's had Europe, Ticket to Ride Europe. Both Europe and the base game came out with those little mini cards, and they had expansions for 1910 and 1912 expansions for each one of them that gave you the full-size train cards, which we have both of them. I could not even imagine playing this game with the little mini cards. There is Ticket to Ride Markland. This has now been re-implemented as Germany, if I'm not mistaken. We have Markland.
We have Markland.
There's Ticket to Ride Nordic Countries. Nordic Countries has now been re-implemented as Northern Lights.
I think it's Northern Lights.
That's the reprint of it.
Yeah.
We have Nordic Countries. Then there's Rails and Sails. This one just turned everything on its head and added boats to the mix. So now you have trains and boats.
Yes.
So this is the first one, too, that is a full game that came out double-sided.
Yes.
That is, I think it's the world on one side and
the
Great Lakes on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
We've played the world. We've not played the Great Lakes. We've not played the world recently, though. We've played it many years ago. It's coming up. We're going to be playing it probably in the next week.
Yeah.
Okay. There are some mini games. There are, I think, currently 5 mini games out there. There is, and we have a few of them. There is San Francisco, there's New York, there's Amsterdam, Berlin, and London. I think those are the 5.
Paris.
And Paris. So there's 6 then. We have 3 of them, and we're going to talk about those on the video. But, okay, I forgot about some of the children's versions, too.
Yep.
There's 3 children's versions, First Journey Europe and First Journey US, and then Ghost Train. Okay, so then we go into the maps. At some point, they decided it was silly to keep producing the exact same cards and the exact same trains in large boxes. Thank you, Days of Wonder, for making this decision.
Right.
It makes it easier to store on our shelves. So they started out with just map packs, and the map packs come with 1 or 2 maps, sometimes double-sided, sometimes not, rule books that have, I kid you not, 12 different languages in them, and then just the cards needed for that specific game. If there were any specialty trains needed, it came with more trains. But for the most part, they didn't come with trains. And this is where we've been playing recently. So here's where we're going to start actually stopping and talking about some of these a little bit. Because all of these other ones I've listed, we haven't played these yet, except for the minis. And the minis, we'll go into those later. That's not what we're going to talk about today. We've played regular Ticket to Ride so far. None of the others we've played yet. Oh, I forgot to mention Legends of the West, the Legacy. It's even got a Legacy version, which we very much enjoyed, which we are not going to spoil for you now. I think we've already talked about it once.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that again on the video. All right, so the first map pack, Asia, Legendary Asia, was published in 2011. This brings in a 6th player onto the Asia side of it because it brings in team play. We have not yet gotten to play team play yet. We're hopefully going to do that today. The flip side, the side we have played, is Legendary Asia. This brings in mountains. Mountains are denoted with X's on the board if it goes through a mountain pass. In this game, there's a little corner of the board that collects extra trains because when you're going through any of these routes, so you go through a route of 2, you put your 2 down, you immediately have to throw a train off to the side. I mean, that's the big difference in this one. You are losing train cars as you go through the mountains because it's harder on them, supposedly. That is that one.
This one also everybody got 1 special card, the long route.
Yes, you only got, that's true. You
didn't have to expect that.
You did not. You could turn it down.
Yeah.
But the long routes were not in the regular route deck.
Right.
You only got 1. All the rest of them were shorter routes from the actual deck. That's true. I forgot about that. Okay, so the second map pack is India and Switzerland. This one came out in 2011 as well. This one also dealt with tunnels through the mountains. Again, this one is double-sided. India one side, Switzerland on the other. On the India side of the board, what makes this one different is that you got extra points when it came time for scoring. You got extra points for being able to connect the 2 cities on your route card by 2 distinct paths. So in other words, you wanted to build a circle because then you were able to do that with a maximum of 5 cards. But if you were able to do it with 5 routes this way, you got an extra 40 points. It was trickier than it sounds, but yeah, I managed to make it work. I don't think you ever did.
It did not compute in my head. It didn't
compute for you. Okay. So that's India.
Once it did, you already had things, and we'll discuss that in the video.
Okay. All right.
We'll leave that for that to make you guys want to see.
There you go.
See my true, honest opinion about India in this video.
Okay. Switzerland. All right. So Switzerland brings in the mountain routes again. This one, though, is a little different than the way Asia handled it. Instead of getting rid of cars, you are actually potentially having to get rid of actual cards. You lay down the number of cards that you are going to claim this route with. So if it had 4 cards, you would lay down 4 orange cards is what it wants. You would lay down your 4 orange cards or a combination of that and locomotives. But then you would have to go to the deck and pull the first 3 cards. And if you pulled any orange cards or any locomotive cards, you would have to pay an extra one out of your hand for each one that you pulled out of those 3 from the deck. So the route could potentially end up costing you 7 cards instead of just 4. But you didn't know it until you physically pulled those cards. If you didn't have the cards to pay or you decided you didn't want to pay them, you simply pull all your cards back up and that ends your turn. You don't succeed in building the route. It got a little iffy. We both had to do that a couple times. Map Pack 3 was a single map, the Heart of Africa. This one is said to be one of the tightest maps. I don't know if I felt that, but this one came out in 2012. What was the big difference on this
had
one?
the cards that
Yes.
you doubled the points if you had the card with that color of track on it.
Yes, you got additional points.
And these were cards you had to draw
yes.
on your turn.
So you could, on your turn, this gave a fourth action. You could still draw train cards. You could pick up route cards. You could lay down tracks. That's fine. But you could also pull these cards, these colored cards up as well. And each card had 3 different color routes on them: white, gray, and black, and then purple, blue, and green. And then, or I'm sorry, there was 3 different ones: orange, red, and yellow. And if you had that card, when you laid down the track of that color, so you're playing down orange cards, you're gonna also discard a yellow, orange, red route track card. You would actually get to double your points. It was huge if you saved those for some of the big routes. Now, mind you, I think there were some 5s on that board, but that was really the biggest route. But that's still 20 points now if you happen to have the right card at the right time.
I think there was like only 1 5.
There was only one 5 right in the middle. No, there's one right in the middle of the board. There's a pink one right in the middle of the board.
Oh, yeah. And then there's a fairy route down here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4,
that's
5,
a
6.
Yeah, that's a big one too. I thought it was interesting. It added an extra layer of strategy to it because you don't want to give up a turn just drawing that one card. But at the same time, that card's going to give you 10 extra points. It's worth it. So, yeah, I thought that was an interesting strategy to that one. Map Pack 4 is, again, a single map. This was Netherlands. This was published in 2013. This one, you got to use the double routes no matter the player count. Typically, you only get to use the double routes if you're playing 4-player or higher. That's it. This one, you got to use them regardless because there were bridge tolls on every or almost every single route.
Yes.
The first person to lay down a route, whether it be a single or a double, paid the bridge toll to the bank. If somebody else claimed the alternate, the double version of the route, you paid the player who owned it first. So if your bridge fee was 2 and the other player already had the blue route chosen and you're now laying down on the orange route, you are paying that player the 2 coins because they've already paid the bank too, but you're reimbursing them. You start out the game with like $30.
Yes.
Yeah, hopefully you end up with money left at the end of the game because I got very tight.
Yeah, if you didn't have the money to pay, though, too, you took debt cards.
You took debt cards that took away 5 points at the end of the game. Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
So it was an interesting version of it.
Yes, it was.
It definitely added a little more thought process because you're like, oh, that's a really expensive route. All right, that was 4. So now we move on to 5. 5 is another double map pack. This was the United Kingdom and Pennsylvania. Odd pairing, but okay. So the UK version divided the 4 countries. Now, there are 4 countries that make up the United Kingdom and the islands, right? You've got England, you've got Scotland, you've got Wales, and you've got Ireland. It did not take into account Northern Ireland, just straight up Ireland. This one included technology cards. And you had to have technology cards to go into the other countries, to go out of England, period. If you wanted to travel outside of England or build outside of England, you had to have a technology card for that country. You had to have a technology card to build anything over a 2, I think it was, wasn't it? Because the 3s were a technology card, the 4s and 5s were a different technology card. You had to have a technology card in order to build ferries. There was all sorts of stuff. So it again gave a lot more thought process, a lot crunchier of a game to your standard Ticket to Ride there in order to do some of these routes, you had to make sure you had the technology in place to do it. So yeah, I really like
you
this
had to have there was something you had to have to be able to get the technology. It was the same colored card, wasn't it? You paid train cards for these.
Oh my gosh, I don't remember how you
to
got
go
them.
to Scotland, I think you had to pay. Maybe it was an engine. Maybe like I said, I can't
wild
remember.
cards.
It was
you had to
card.
spend engines to get them.
Yes.
So there
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, there were actually more engines than normal in this deck. This one actually gave you a full deck of cards because there were more engines in it than normal. There were 20 engines in it, not just 14. Because you had to have the technology. You had to have those, one for the ferries, because you had to have the locomotives to do any of the water crossings, and there were a lot of water crossings in this one. Yeah. But you also had to have them to buy technology cards.
Yeah, but four cars, period, made an engine.
That's true.
You could just get rid of 4 cards to make an engine.
Yes. And it did have a technology where you could do 3 cards instead of 4, which I picked up right away and helped immensely.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania brought in stock certificates. There were a number of different railroad stock certificates. And as you finished routes, each route had icons on it, or most of the routes on the board had different icons on it. And you could choose one of those stocks to grab if it was still available.
Yeah, this one too, you had to have a third player.
Yes.
If you played 2, you had had a dummy player.
Yes, this one actually required a dummy player. And it was fairly easy. When you took a stock of the same thing for the dummy player. And the dummy players all went into a pile. At the end of the game, you halved them and then
you took a stock and then you took a stock. It didn't have to be the same one.
I think it still had to be from that route, though.
Right. It had to be of that route, but it did have to be the same one that you took.
Okay.
And that just kind of gave it so that the stocks went away quicker.
Yes, and they did.
And they did. Yes.
But at the end of the game, you count up the number of stocks everybody has, and you get points for that stock. Each stock was a little different, first, second, third places. The dummy player...
You divided it in half of his stocks, then he would score those stocks.
Right. And he actually took control of some of the stocks, too, because he had so many of them. So, that was kind of interesting. I liked what that did. Map Pack 6 was France and the Old West. Now, the France side of the board, this one was really interesting. Only the single routes had color. Everything else it wasn't even gray.
No, it was rail
blank.
Beds.
Yeah, there you go, rail beds. This one came with punch boards. The only Ticket to Ride I've ever seen come with punch boards. But it had punch boards of various route lengths between 2 and 6, I think it was, or 2 and 5. On your turn, again, you had your 3 options. You drew cards, you laid tracks, or you collected new route cards.
Right.
If you drew train cards, you had to lay down a bed, a track bed. You picked the color you wanted, you picked the location, you picked the length, whatever. You had to cover one of these blank track beds with something.
Yes.
Naturally,
because you couldn't lay any trains in the areas unless you had a track to go on.
Naturally, you're going to lay in the areas you need to go with the cards you hopefully have in your hand already. Sometimes that worked out. Sometimes it did not. Sometimes you got way ahead of yourself and you just hoped nobody else took that before you could get to it because you had to lay this bed down. Uh-huh. I thought this one was really interesting.
Yep.
I liked it.
Yeah, this one was really cool.
There
was areas you could totally delete a route.
Yes.
Because these routes laid over the tops of them.
Yes.
And once one went down, the other one couldn't. Yeah, you couldn't cross.
Oh, it was very interesting. So you completely eliminated ways in and out of cities by playing a different track bed.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because there was one route going from, what is that, Avignon to Nice. If you laid that track down, you completely deleted a track from Grenoble to Marseille, and then from Bryanton to Marseille.
It's got to be Marseille.
Yeah. But you completely deleted those 2 tracks.
Because you laid something else down. It was crazy.
Yeah, the one track went over the top of those 2, so those 2 tracks were no longer being able to be used. Yeah, it made it... It was definitely a whole different experience with this game because you didn't know how the board was going to set up until the tracks came out.
Yeah.
Like, am I going to be able to get through here? Oh no, she's coming down through here. She's going to cross that track that I really need to use.
I need to get something down
there before she can cross over it.
Yeah, that was interesting. This one, if I didn't say so, came out in 2017. So we're up to Map Pack 6 in 6 years. Yeah. The first one came out in 2011. Okay, Old West. The Old West, this one was definitely different. Yeah. Now, we had already played Legends of the West, so we were really looking forward to this one. It does not play like Legends of the West at all.
No.
Which I was kind of disappointed in, but at the same time, okay. At the beginning of the game, everybody has 3 cities. You have to put out one city somewhere on the board.
Preferably at the very beginning of your route.
Right, because from then on, you have to build off of that city or off of someplace you've already laid track.
Yes.
So in other words, if you lay down in Bozeman, you cannot immediately go to Eugene, Oregon and start building.
Right.
You have to work your way over there.
Yes.
So you need to pick a place that's centrally located that you need to connect to anyway, because that's where you're starting from. From there, you build a path. I mean, technically, it's very thematic. For the Old West, you didn't just hop around. You built and moved your workers along the rail you just built.
Right.
But it was frustrating at the same time.
Yes, this is kind of the way I play the game anyway.
Well,
I always try and get my route all to connect. I always try to figure out what route can I get everything to do. But I can jump around.
Right. This one you can't jump around.
Right.
And I always try to get my routes to connect anyway, of course, because that's inherent from the first Ticket to Ride where you've got the longest route tokens.
Correct.
But, oh my gosh, this was the very first one I've ever had a route I didn't finish. And just because I ran out of trains, I could not finish it.
And I was lucky I got that last one finished. I was about to take a 6-space route, a gray route. I had everything, but I needed one more card, and it was out there, and I was going to take it. And she took it the turn before, which caused me to go around and barely have enough trains to finish the game.
It was, and I couldn't get into what was it, Missoula? Up top,
something
or maybe
like
I got into Missoula. I couldn't get into Great Falls or Helena. I don't remember.
Yeah, you couldn't get into something.
But yeah, I just did not have the trains. Or no, Spokane. I couldn't get over to Spokane because I needed 5 reds.
Oh, that's
and
right.
I only had 2 trains left.
And I had already used the 2 to go from Missoula to Spokane because my city was in Missoula or something like that.
No, I know I started in Billings. I think you started in Great Falls. But anyway, regardless, it was a frustrating one. I wouldn't mind trying it again where maybe the double routes are opened up to us with 4 players, but man, that was a tough one.
Yes, it was.
So the 7th one, that is Japan and Italy. This one came out in 2019.
No, you forgot 6.5.
Oh, I did forget 6.5. I was going to say, wow,
which is weird. Why did they do this at 6.5?
Yeah, I don't get that one at all.
Maybe they had already put out 7.
Maybe. Well, we'll find out because 6.5 came out in 2019. They both 6.5 and 7 both came out in 2019.
Huh.
So I don't know.
Odd.
All right. So 6.5 is Poland. So there were a set of cards for different countries set off to the side of the board. And around the map of Poland are all these different countries. Germany and Switzerland and, oh my gosh, I can't even remember half of them now. Is it the Ukraine, Russia, and they name them different.
Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia. So anyway, there's like 9 different countries around the board, 8 different countries, something like that. And the routes themselves did not take you into these countries, but the routes got you close. If you went ahead and connected into a country, and all of the countries had 3 routes going into them, they were open no matter the player count. So there was no block on getting in and out of the countries, which was good. So say you finish your first route and you go ahead and you do the extra couple trains into Czechoslovakia and into Germany. You pick up both the Czech Republic card and the German card.
And the sooner you got there, the higher points you got.
Because there were, I think, what was it? Was it Czechoslovakia or was it Germany? There was a 10-point card on the top.
I think it was Czechoslovakia.
I think it was Czech. But the next time you connected something, so now maybe you connected Russia to the mix, and it is connected, that route into Russia is connected to your German and your Czechoslovakia routes.
Yep.
You pick up all 3 cards again, and you keep doing that every time you connect a new country.
Yes.
So that is a valid strategy. And there was a point where, because we played this with Justin just gave up trying to finish his route. He did finish his routes, but he didn't pick up any more. And he just started focusing on trying to get these countries connected. He did lose the game by 2 points, but it was a valid strategy. I think you and I actually tied. I won because I had one more route finished.
Yeah.
Because I was able to actually pick up
I was the only one.
route.
I kept all my routes at the beginning. And then
I think I kept all but one.
And then you diverted me and took my spots twice. I think I think
Why
when
does
I ended
this
up
still
counting,
surprise you?
I think at the end I counted 12 extra trains I had to use.
Oh, well, it's okay.
So
That's the way
I
it
wasn't
works.
able to get any more routes.
Yep.
I didn't get all my trains used up because I only had 3 left, and I wasn't about to take another train because Justin goes and ends the game.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, actually, I did just draw, and didn't he? Or was that last night? I think that was the same thing last night,
That
too.
was last night,
I thought
I think.
I did the same thing in that game, too.
Yeah, last night you pulled and dug into the game on the very next
Doug
turn.
didn't tell us, I only have 4 trains left.
I know.
So I going, thanks,
And
Doug.
he was,
And he's playing black, and his little tray's black, so you can't see how many trains are in there.
No.
Anyway, that's a different one, and we'll discuss that in the video.
Okay, so the 7th pack is Japan and Italy. We got to play both of these last night with Doug and Mary from Coopple of Nerds. So Japan brings in the bullet trains.
Mm-hmm.
Japan is also the first one I've seen that has inlaid maps. There is a spot where you can go into Tokyo, and then inside of Tokyo, there is an inlaid map up on the top of the board of the inside of Tokyo, basically the city.
It's like the subway or something
Yeah,
like that?
it now becomes the subway system in Tokyo. And then off to the side, you can go into, what was that? Kyushu?
Well, it's the island, but it's Kokora.
Kokora.
Is where
you
it
connect
connects.
through Kokora, and that takes you over to the island of Kyushu. And so there are 2 spots of Kokora on the board, and one is technically connected to the other, is the same spot, essentially, is what they tell you in the rules. And same with Tokyo. You go into Tokyo, and then you can jump to the inner map. So it was really interesting the way that worked.
Yeah.
But 2, it brought in the bullet trains. Now, there is a number of bullet trains in the box. Bullet trains can be built by anybody. You do not use your own colors. You use one of the bullet train engines to denote that route has been built. Bullet train routes run anywhere from 1 to 4 train cars. But when you build them, you only put 1 train on it. No matter how many cars are there, you put 1 bullet train figure on it. And that denotes it's been built. And anybody can use that route. Technically, you get points for it, but you're getting points on a graph on the side of the board. And at the end of the game, whoever's in first on that graph gets 20 points. Second place gets 10, third nothing, and the 4th person loses points based on your player count. Those numbers change based on player count. So it was really interesting because you didn't have to build all the routes. You just had to work your routes around these bullet trains. And then on that side, the flip side of the board is Italy. Italy had the districts, and you scored extra points at the end of the game for how many districts you connected together. Up to 15 districts, I believe. And that got you like 54 points if you got all 15 connected. It was a crazy amount of points. None of us did. I think the most we had connected was 11. It also brought in the ferry cards. There were ferry routes that as one action, you could pick up a ferry card. And that could be used in place of locomotives on the ferry routes where there were the ferry icons on them. It was interesting. I really enjoyed both of those maps, actually. But I think I liked Italy better. Yep. Okay. And then the last map pack,
we haven't even played
unfortunately,
yet.
we have not gotten to play.
So we can't talk about it.
Right. It is brand new. That one came out, I think, just this last year, 2004. So they had a pretty big gap between 7 and 8, like 5 years. But that was Iberia and South Korea. Again, we've not played it yet, so you'll have to watch the video to get more information.
Yep.
But yeah, so far that has been our adventures through Ticket to Ride.
Right.
Our journey, or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
It's been a lot of fun.
Yep.
I've actually enjoyed all of them.
Don't forget to look for the video when it comes out.
Yes. Hopefully we'll record that. Probably not before Christmas. Definitely before New Year's.
Yep.
Hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Right. So this is going to do it for episode 102. If you like this episode or any of our content and haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do so by going to iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. And while you're there, give us a rating and a comment. This is how others can find the show. But in the meantime, if you want to follow us on social media just to keep up with us and see what we're doing, just follow the links in the show notes. There you'll find links to Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, YouTube, Threads, Discord, Blue Sky, and our merch shop. Or you can contact us directly at meeplesociety@mail.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you at the next one.